It's two of the nation's top teams in one of the greatest rivalries in the country, the Rams and the Wave, Darien and New Canaan, live from New Canaan High School's historic Dunning Field, the home of the Rams, where today two of the best teams in the FCAC, in the state, in the nation, will face off in what's sure to be a great matchup. Myself, PJ Neville, joined alongside Brendan Bailey and Will Jennings for this DAF and NCTV joint broadcast. Will, I'm going to start with you. Who are you looking for out of this Darien team to get it going for the Wave?
Yeah, just coming off that Chaminade loss, we saw, Brady Picorni had a tough matchup with Ben Fox. Obviously, the UNC commit. It was a great matchup all day long, but it was really done in the midfield for Darien. We saw Briggs McGuckin get that hat trick in the first half, and really Darien pushing transition all game long. They weren't really able to establish that 300 set that they like to work out of. So Briggs McGuckin just doing what he does best, those alley dodges, getting north-south. That's what, really turned the tide for the Wave last game.
Yeah, and then Brendan, for you, the Rams get their apex predator, Gray Tomasco, back for this one. He's the Richmond commit. You know him, you love him, and what are you looking for out of him today?
It's his first game back in a little while, and it's definitely been noticeable when he wasn't there. They have had good replacements, and other players have stepped up on the defensive side of the ball. But I expect that with Gray back in the rotation, I expect a big strong show out from New Canaan's D this game.
Yeah, I was talking to Tomasco last night, right? He's not anticipating to play the whole game, but he is going to start his first game back against rival Darien Blue Wave. And then, just going into our matchup of the game right now, you've got Dylan Stevens, number 47, right? That kind of dynamic duo with Stevens and Tomasco. Stevens, obviously a freshman on this team, or he's been on this team since he was a freshman, starting every game of his freshman and sophomore year. And then his junior year, sadly, was injury-riddled, wasn't able to play. He comes back for his senior year, and this one against a familiar foe in Brady Picorni. Picorni, a Notre Dame five-star commit, one of the top recruits in the senior class. That's going to be our matchup of the game. Really, a lefty shooter in Picorni, and then Stevens, who's really one of the best lockdown defensemen in the country. And then Brendan, you had a matchup that you wanted to talk about at the face-off dot. Tell me a little about Mariska and O'Neill.
Yeah, I think at the X, this is where New Canaan's definitely look to try to take advantage over the Wave. JT O'Neill is one of the best Fogos in the entire country, an Army commit, and he's been phenomenal all season and dominant for the Rams. And so I expect that he'll be able to sort of have his way against Jack Mariska, but we shall see what goes on at the face-off X this game.
Yeah, guys, and both these teams coming off of losses. So, Will, you were at that Chaminade game where the Blue Wave lost. What do you think they need to, kind of work on from that game to win in this one?
Yeah, as Brendan was just talking about, it starts at that face-off dot, and I think Darien's going to try and pull that face-off with Mark McNamara. If they can't start, winning against JT O'Neill, it's going to be Mark McNamara who comes in, maybe Rowan Levine. They have a bunch of great pulls on this Darien team. It's a very deep team, with the pull aspect, and I think that if Mark McNamara can kind of support that face-off dot, try and win those ground balls, get those wings to collapse, and just, kind of pressure JT O'Neill into making some mistakes, that pull is going to be very important.
Yeah, and then Brendan, just quickly, before the national anthem, the New Canaan, they got shut out in that second half against Fairfield Prep. What do you think they need to work on?
Yeah, and that was a very rough loss for the Rams. Definitely one that you wish you had against that Prep team. Really came down to the wire, and I think that they're going to have to, if they have a lead, they'll have to hold on to it, unlike what happened against Prep. So we'll see how that goes.
Now we're going to send it down to the field for starting lineups and the national anthem.
today's contest, ranked number 1 in the state with a record of 9 wins and 2 losses, while Darien is ranked 3rd with a record of 6 and 4. On behalf of the CIAC and New Canaan High School, we would like to remind you to demonstrate good sportsmanship, respect, and courtesy to all student athletes, coaches, officials, and fellow fans. Support the team you root for and show respect for the opposition. Any behavior that violates this code of conduct is grounds for removal from the stadium. We appreciate your cooperation in maintaining a safe and positive game environment. Now, here are today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Darien Blue, a senior, number 1, Carter Hagen. A senior, Barnett. Senior, number 12, co-captain, Briggs McGuckin. Senior, number 17, Connor Lane. Junior, number 18, Mark McNamara. Senior, number 20, co-captain, Will Bonner. Senior, number 35, Jake Hendrickson. Sophomore, number 40, Jack Mariska. Sophomore, number 77, Max McBride. And senior, number 99, Brady Pacorni. And now, the starters for your New Canaan Rams. A senior, number 5, Thomas Garcia. Senior, number 11, co-captain, Gray Tomasco. Sophomore, number 18, Rogan Lowe. Senior, number 19, Max Lowe. Senior, number 23, co-captain, Duster Kroll. A junior, number 27, Will Hayes. Sophomore, number 31, Cam Lyden. Junior, number 46, Bryce Lyden. Senior, number 47, co-captain, Dylan Stevens. And a junior, number 77, JT O'Neill. Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please rise and remove your hats to honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
live from Buchanan's Dunning Field, just moments away from the opening face-off. Guys, any closing thoughts before this game starts?
Yeah, I think, we just saw those starting lineups. There's a lot of seniority on both sides, but, a key matchup we didn't really talk about was that, goalie aspect of this game. You have Carter Hagan, the Loyola-bound senior goalie for Darien, and then on the other side, it looks like New Canaan is probably going to rotate Kroll and Leiden in the net, two very capable goalies, but I think that's going to be very important. We've seen Hagan come off 2 strong games. They did lose against Chaminade. However, he put up a valiant effort in goal, a lot of dynamic saves post to post, and a lot of stops on the doorstep. So I think that aspect of this game is something that needs to be talked about coming in here.
So O'Neill and Mariska to face off to start this game off. This is probably the best crowd I think we've seen all year for probably either side's lacrosse game. As the ball loose on the ground, picked up by JT O'Neill. He's running it through the midfield, gets it in touch, pulls it back out, feeds it up top to Thomas Garcia. Garcia looking to settle down. The Rams will be on offense first in this one. Now Rogan Lowe in that right alley. Takes his defender, Jake Hendrickson, to X. Rogan Lowe looking to make a couple moves here. He'll elevate, pass it up top to Henry Laddick. Laddick defended by the short stick of Briggs McGuckin. That's a matchup the Rams could try to use today. As Doster Kroll now defended by William Bonner. The captain, Tufts commit. Big hit there. And Cole Campese steps in, shot saved by Hagan, ball loose.
Yeah, that
Finnegan fights for it.
That was the slide from the D-midi, Stephen Olvany. Just the 2 slide there, and he comes in and just makes good contact early.
Now Lowe on the reset. Max Lowe behind at X. Passes off to Henry Laddick. Laddick up top. Finnegan with the lefty shot. Tried to go 5-hole, but Hagan read it perfectly. Now across to Connor Lane. Lane feeds it over to McNamara. McNamara takes it over. Looks for a pass. Finds one. And Olvany will settle it down for the Blue Wave. Gives it off to Briggs McGuckin.
And you see Will Hayes on Briggs McGuckin. Briggs is a phenomenal player, and not surprised to see Will Hayes guarding him.
Some great LSMs out here today, and Hayes and Bonner, both very good players, and those matchups definitely going to be crucial today. As you said, Briggs McGuckin matching up with Hayes early.
Bilodeau with an errant pass, and the Rams get it to clear. Tomasco looks up to Ireland across. Bryce Leiden, he'll take it over. Bryce Leiden feeds Rogan Lowe in the alley. Lowe takes Hendrickson behind.
And it's interesting to see, it looks like Bonner is on Doster Kroll, and a lot of New Canaan's offense runs through Doster. So it's interesting to see that Bonner can be guarding him.
Yeah, it looks like the Blue Wave will have Bonner in that close defense unit, and then they'll be running Lane at LSM as Campese looks to Luke Reed. Reed looking to bully dodge on Rowan Levine. Reed running through traffic. One-hand pass behind to Lowe. Up top, bad pass. Laddick controls it though. Gets tripped up. Ball is loose, and Bonner looks to take it. Campese with a couple of slaps on him. Bonner walking in, passes off. Picorni with the spin move. Stevens does a great job controlling that opportunity though, as the ball trickles out through the middle of the field. Will Hayes picks it up. Hayes with a little bit of a fast break look. He's got a good shot with that long pole if he decides to take it. Does not. Looks off to Rogan Lowe. Now behind with Doster Kroll. Kroll with Levine on him.
And looking back at last possession, those types of turnovers was just a bad pass by, I believe it was Rogan Lowe. And those are the types of turnovers that really hurt New Canaan against Fairfield Prep on Thursday it was. And so I think if you're a Rams fan, you definitely don't want to see those types of turnovers early on in this game.
Now Kroll rolls back, feeds Hayden Roeder on the crease. Roeder nearly had one. Just kind of a catch and dump there.
Surprised that New Canaan didn't try and invert with Doster Kroll there at X. He had the sophomore Rowan Levine on him. Definitely going to be interesting, as you mentioned, Brendan, earlier. Darien trying a lot of different looks with Dosser Kroll, William Bonner, and Rowan Levine, 2 great LSMs on him early.
So now Finnegan will have it in the alley, defended by Levine. And Campese will try to sweep. McGuckin stones them, though. As now Campese in that left alley looks for a pass.
Yeah, New Canaan trying to attack Darien's shorties early. Having a little bit of trouble at the top of the box thus far. Just trying to explore some different matchups as these two teams get a feel for each other.
Kroll with the shot and another save by Carter Hagan. He's at 3 already. Now Hagan looks to clear the ball. Looks like he's just going to walk it up here. Low slides over, and he lofts the pass to Mark McNamara, the Penn State commit, 4-star junior. As McNamara gives it over to Luke Caesar. Caesar gets in touch, pulls it out, and the Blue Wave will go to work. Really kind of their first settled possession on the offensive end.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Darien has a ton of different sets they like to use. They like to utilize that 2-man game at X. However, their main set, usually that open 300 look. So we'll see what Darien tries to do on this first possession.
Elliot Lancaster looks to dodge on Liam Ireland. He goes in with the shot, bounces just wide, but Porter Barnett will be back there to retain possession for the Wave. Now Gray Tomasco defending him. Tomasco, the Richmond commit, his first game back.
Richmond on Richmond here. 2 future Spiders going at it. It's definitely going to be an underrated matchup today.
As Lancaster looks to make a move, sweeps over top, and he'll just reset it as the Blue Wave go into their 1-4-1 set. Now pull it back out.
I think Darien's definitely trying to utilize this matchup of Lancaster on Liam Ireland. They've used it a few times already this possession. Here's another one.
That shot from Lancaster goes wide. Barnett backs it up. And the Blue Wave, once again, will get the restart from X. Barnett on Tomasco. Passes off to McBride. Defended by Bryce Leiden. Leiden throws a couple of slaps. Nearly dislodges that one. Max McBride will hold on as he looks over to Elliot Lancaster. Once again, Lancaster with the shot. That one way wide. He rolled that one on the ground.
Yeah, Darien pretty good on the chase thus far. We saw them against Chaminade having trouble following up those loose shots, but so far on the chase, they've been able to win a couple extra possessions.
Now Hayes defending number 16, Wes Scallon, only a sophomore. Leiden gets tripped up there. McBride looks across the crease, hit the back of the net. Ball trickles out, and Gray Tomasco looks over, long pass to Liam Ireland. He finally gets under it, and the Rams with a fast break. Brady Picorni with a great trail check there. Picorni coming up from his attack position.
Yeah, great ride from Picorni, just going back, past midfield. He continues the ride and able to get a great turnover.
Loose ball here as it went from one side of the field to the other. Finally, Caesar picks it up. Leiden going after him, and Caesar will settle it down, defended by Thomas Garcia, the second-team All-FCAC midfielder just a year ago. Yep. So Lancaster goes to work again on Ireland.
Pretty chaotic start here. Both teams trying to push in transition, a lot of different turnovers, and Darien trying to get a settled possession. But we've seen a lot of loose balls, a lot of ground balls, and a lot of scrums here early. Just see if these teams can settle down and get the nerves off of these passes.
So Caesar will sweep over top. Feed off to McGuckin, and Cam Leiden sticks side high, save. He'll fake the pass, give it over to Tomasco, back to Leiden. Cam Leiden will work it up the field. He's going to walk it off, look over to Dylan Stevens. Stevens makes a move on Picorni, gets past, flag flies. And the Rams with a delayed penalty. Stevens will give it off to Kroll, and the Rams look to hold the ball, get a good possession, and then once the ball goes out of play, there's a stoppage. The Rams get possession right back.
Crucial mistake there early on the ride from Picorni. Just Dylan Stevens able to get that quick first step, and Picorni with a little wrap check that was called for the slash there. So New Canaan going to go on that man up.
Max Lowe goes to work on McNamara.
And Finnegan's got a short stick for the first time, I believe, this game. He's been pulled so far. Now he's got the short stick, Stephen Olvani on him.
And Finnegan looked over to Kroll. Kroll's shot went out of bounds, and the Rams will be man up here. The man up unit consists of the 3 attackmen, the 2 Lowe brothers, Max and Rogan, and then Doster Kroll. And then in the midfield, you've got Colin Finnegan, Henry Laddick, and Cole Campese. As we'll see, Rogan Lowe start with it in the alley on the 1-minute penalty. So the blue Wave will be man down here for a minute, running kind of a box and 1 look. You'd anticipate maybe they lock off Doster Kroll, but they don't do so, as Kroll gets the ball in the alley, feeds it behind to Rogan Lowe, and now they're locking him off with Olvani.
A lot of movement on that crease. Looks like New Canaan's trying to confuse those Darien defenders.
And Finnegan shot scores. Colin Finnegan opens up the scoring for the Rams on the man-up opportunity, and just 20 seconds in to the man-up, the Rams go up 1-0 on the Blue Wave.
Yeah, Colin Finnegan, right? We talked about him before the game, the importance of the midfielders in this game, and that's a guy you can't let him get his hands free. He's got a great step-down shot right there on the wing, nobody in front of him, and the slide doesn't come. It's late, and Colin Finnegan just able to bounce that one in.
Absolutely, and the Rams have seen that man-down look before, locking off Dr. Kroll, and they've been practicing it all year long. It's great to see that they're able to put that practice to work and be able to get a goal on that man-up.
Mariska, trail check from Hayes. Mariska was loading up for that one. Took a couple minutes, and Hayes came through with the trail check, as Picorni will take Stevens to X. Brady Picorni looking to dodge on him. As the Blue Wave kind of running a cloud set here, getting their guys up high. Now Picorni goes to the wing.
Yeah, they love those. They love those wing dodges, so expect a lot of Picorni and Stevens attacking from the wing specifically. They're going to use that pair set as well. As you see right here, McGuckin may try and pick for Rupenstein.
Rupenstein elevates, defended by Sullivan. And that shot from McGuckin with time and room knots it up at 1, just about a minute after the Rams' opening goal.
Yeah, that's that pair set that Darien loves so much. They're coming from the wing, they're sweeping across, and it's just a draw and dump, right? They look like they're going to pick. They basically bounce off that screen, and McGuckin is just left on the roll wide open for a step down where he strings it to the corner.
So now the Blue Wave putting Gavin Pearsall at the face-off dot in place of Mariska. As Bryce Lydon takes the LSM spot, Braden Roby moves to close defense as JT O'Neill's shot saved by Hagan. A lot going on here. Ball bounces, and the Blue Wave will look to clear. And I think that's Connor Lane wide open there. Hagan decides not to pass it to him, and Scallon takes it through the middle of the field. Looks to get it in touch. Does so. Defended by Garcia. Now Lydon on Lancaster, trying to lock off his right hand, force him left. Lancaster sweeps over top. Looks for a pass. Slide comes from Cooper Smith. Now off to Picorni in the alley. Brady Picorni gets a screen from Caesar. Stevens slipped up. Picorni with the windup. Tried to go behind the back. Ball is loose. Up in the air now. Flag flies. Garcia lays a body. Ball still loose on the ground.
Looks like Darien may
Cam
have
Lydon will pick it up, and I think
Darien's going to have that man-up opportunity as Picorni got tangled up there. He faked that BTB look, and looks like there was maybe one too many extra checks on that play.
so. I think it looks like Lydon will go off to the penalty box for, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be a 1-minute penalty. Not 100% certain on that. Maybe 2 minutes to the head. Minute-long penalty, which will take us virtually to the end of this first quarter, bearing any scores.
Pretty sloppy play from both sides thus far, but it's been a very entertaining first quarter. We see how evenly matched these two teams are. And
looking at the penalty was on Garcia there,
Yeah.
not Lydon.
A lot of confusion there.
Yeah.
As Jackson Roeder comes in for the man down look.
Hard to decipher. There was a lot going on with that scrum. But regardless, Darien on the man up.
Picorni with the C cut, misses wide, and the chase goes to Porter Barnett and the Blue Wave. As Barnett will take it in now, give it off, and the Blue Wave will go to work here behind that X with Picorni. Brady Picorni up top. Now Bilodeau across to McGuckin. Down low, Barnett up top back with McGuckin. Now Barnett, his shot wide of the cage. Looked like it might have gotten saved by Leiden.
Yeah, Darien just trying to get it hot around the perimeter right now. No need to dodge. I know a lot of these guys, like the matchups. However, they're going to look for some off-ball movement, maybe pick down for Picorni and get a
good
C-cut.
Stick from Jackson Roeder forces that ball loose. Cam Leiden will pick it up and try to clear the ball here. Leiden running, trying to evade from Picorni. He'll just send that one loose in the air. And I think that's Bonner. Bonner picked it up. Picorni in the middle of the field behind the back pass. Now with McGuckin. McGuckin with the spin move, and his shot goes high. Barnett will be back there to retain possession with 2.4 left as a flag flies out.
Yeah, that's Stevens on McGuckin there. Very huge collision right in the middle. We saw Picorni try and push in transition off that feed from Bonner. He throws the BTB to the point. Not able to capitalize, but basically does it for the man up there.
So 2.4 seconds left in this first quarter. Referees talking with Coach Chip Buzzio. Obviously two very well-coached teams here. Chip Buzzio, very good player during his playing days. Played at Princeton, I believe, 2 or 3-time national champion. NCAA, that is. And then Coach Jeff Braymeyer, really, one of the best lacrosse minds in the nation. Just understands the game as referees talk it over. I think Roby will come off the field for a penalty. Not 100% sure what it was.
This is a typical Darien New Canaan game. We saw McGuckin and Stevens, two Eclipse teammates get into a bit of a scrum right there, but no love lost. A lot of these guys do play with each other in the summer, so very familiar opponents, but we're seeing the antics here early. See who can take charge.
So Barnett will just hold that one out, and the Blue Wave will start with the ball to start the second quarter. The score at the end of one is 1-1. Guys, what have you liked? What have you seen? What do you think teams, both teams should work on in the second, third, and fourth quarters?
I think going back to that Darien goal, it was a phenomenal rip by, I believe it was Briggs McGuckin. Great shot to the top right. But I think a lot of credit should be given to Morgan Rupenstein, who was able to go over the top and draw that double that left Briggs wide open and have his hands free, which definitely you don't want to see if you're a Rams fan. So I think going back to that two-man look from the wings and trying to do that again throughout the rest of this game is definitely going to be a focus for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, I'd like to see both teams, right, PJ? I want to see them set up their dodges. I want to see some invert looks at X. I don't think we've seen these teams take advantage of the matchups thus far. It's been a lot of, unsettled situations. I think, there's a lot of nerves coming into a game like this, and we saw that in the first quarter, kind of sloppy play. But if both teams can just get to their sets and start working, I think there were some good things, like you said, Brendan. Being able to pick and being able to draw the double was very important for Darien. So we'll see what happens this second quarter.
So as it stands 1-1, the Blue Wave will have 58 seconds of man-up time, and we'll start with the ball, so no face-off, which really definitely does favor the Blue Wave, especially since JT O'Neill, who probably would win that face-off, can't go out there and represent his team to start the second quarter.
Yeah, New Canaan's done a good job man down so far, being able to kill these penalties. But we'll see if Darien's able to capitalize this time around.
So for the Rams, you've got Cam Lyden in between the pipes once again with Jackson Roeder, Dylan Stevens, Gray Tomasco, and Bryce Lyden as your 4 deep holes, and Will Sullivan as that short stick defensive midfielder.
Yeah, as you mentioned, right, Darien really has to value those possessions. They're going to probably lose a lot at the face-off X this game playing O'Neal. And if you're Darien, this restart, very important. No face-off eliminates the worry. Darien got to take advantage here.
So now up top with McGuckin in the alley to Picorni. Picorni feeds it down low. Now McGuckin once again up top to Rupenstein. Behind. And Picorni's shot just wide and high. Still 25 seconds left on the man up.
And if you're the Rams, you kind of have to live with that shot, man down. Picorni's obviously a great player, but wasn't from the best angle. You definitely live with that shot if you're this man down defense.
So now Rupenstein shot high. 13 seconds left on the man up. So Blue Wave, maybe one last look if they get it.
Yeah, play Darien loves on the man up is, picking down for Picorni and Barnett and getting a C cut at the crease. So let's see what they try and do here.
Picorni across to Rupenstein, saved by Lyden. Barnett picks it up. Sullivan lays a hit. Ball loose. Tomasco's stick got tied up. Still tied up with Barnett. 2 guys that are going to be very familiar in the coming years, both playing on that Richmond lacrosse team. But right now, they're enemies on the lacrosse field. As Stevens looked up to Lyden. Lyden bobbled it, then finally got it back. Looks to get it in touch. Feeds Max Lowe. Lowe still hasn't gotten in touch. Finally does. And the Rams settle it down for their first offensive possession of the second quarter.
So you got Lowe on Mark McNamara, the Penn State commit. We thought Mark McNamara might match up with Dosser Kroll, but that's been the job of William Bonner today, the LSM, for the Tufts commit from Darien.
So Kroll will dodge and elevate above GLE, pass it off to Campese. Cole Campese with his left, dodges, splits to his right, defended by Olvani. And Max Lowe behind to Henry Laddick, defended by McGuckin. McGuckin, a really, really good two-way midfielder.
Yeah, haven't been able to get top side on these two-way midfielders today. McGuckin really doing a good job of staying on Laddick's hands.
As Rogan Lowe's shot saved by Hagan. His brother Max will be back there, though, to pick it up. Now Max Lowe on the restart, defended by Mark McNamara once again. Lowe with the shot. That one just goes high as we take another look. Now Henry Laddick, defended by McGuckin. Laddick passes up top. Campese winds up, and his shot blocked out in traffic.
A few
Still
too many
loose.
Few too many cradles there if you're Campese. He had that step down. He was elevating.
Oh, and you see a little bit of a scuffle there in midfield. Good timeout there from Coach Buzzio.
So, great timeout by Coach Chip Buzzio there as the Rams look to settle it down on offense once again. 9:07 left in the second quarter as we're going to take another look here. Just a few seconds of Lyden's save on that man up. Great save by Lyden. The Roeder does a great job keeping Barnett away from the cage with his back turned. Sullivan came in with some reinforcements.
And we've seen Roeder 2 times today on both man downs. He might not get a lot of playing time while it's even, but on this man down, he's been playing great so far today. He's made 2 good plays already.
Yeah, and Will, this Darien Blue Wave team, right? They're doing a great job on the defensive end, containing, guys like Doster Kroll and Max Lowe. What do you think, really contributes to that?
I think it's just Briggs McGuckin and, like you said, these two-way midfielders for Darien. You have Rupenstein and McGuckin who are usually on that defensive end, and they're really shutting off that top side. They're limiting space for those midfielders on New Canaan, and it's really allowing Darien to get those steals, push and transition, and limit any threats from New Canaan. As these two teams, they rotate a lot of different lines, but so far that line specifically for Darien doing a great job shutting down those midfielders.
So Henry Laddick will start with the ball up top, defended by Olvani. He'll give it off to Luke Reed in the alley, defended by Elliot Lancaster. And now Finnegan looks to go to work on Connor Lane. Finnegan down the left alley. He's got one today, as he'll give it behind to Max Lowe. Lowe looks to get around, roll back. Now Finnegan at X. The little shovel pass to Laddick. Laddick, an attackman in the summer season, looking to go to work on the short stick of Olvani. Finnegan will feed Doster Kroll.
A lot of good off-ball movement for New Canaan here.
With the left-handed shot.
Seeing them clear through and try and set up a dodge, but I really like what New Canaan's doing off the ball right now. It's a lot of good movement.
Max Lowe at X, looking to find a cutter or two in the middle of the field, as he'll give it up to Laddick. Laddick back to Lowe. And Doster Kroll couldn't control that one off of the C cut from X. Now in the middle of the field, that's Lancaster trying to clear it up.
He loves to push in transition. We'll see if he shoots here.
Defended by Laddick. Lancaster, you saw him have a bunch of goals in that Chaminade loss, especially in the fourth quarter.
All off transition as well. Usually coaches tell you to throw that extra pass or two, but Lancaster this season been taking it to the cage himself. We saw a couple unsettled goals from him against Chaminade.
Now up top with Rupenstein, defended by Cooper Smith. Looks like he'll try to take him as they clear through, kind of overload one side. Maybe Rupenstein goes down that right alley, I would anticipate, as he does just that. Tries to get a little bit of an angle, doesn't do so. Now with the restart at X. Cooper Smith defending, bounce shot, saved by Leiden. Barnett there on the chase to retain possession for the Blue Wave. Now Barnett defended by Tomasco. Barnett forced to the outside, up top with Rupenstein. Rupenstein sweeps across, pulls it back out, feeds it to McBride. McBride defended by Leiden. Haven't seen this matchup too much today, as Leiden jars that ball free, and Bryce Leiden working through the middle of the field. Great check by Picorni there to force that ball loose. Ball on the ground, picked up by Bonner.
Picorni multiple times on the ride today, coming up big for Darien as he steals another possession and a flag. Huge shift of momentum for the Wave.
So Leiden caught Bonner in the helmet, and the Blue Wave with a delayed penalty. So McBride will look to restart it, defended by Cooper Smith. And McBride's shot goes wide. Leiden will have to come off. Jackson Roeder comes on once again. The man down look. 6:07 left in the second quarter.
And that was a hit in the head by Bryce Leiden. An unfortunate play for him. He had a great play on the defensive end and then gave it up on the fast break. But then that check in the head, it's going to be called every time if you're the referee seeing that. New Canaan's going to go man down once again.
Yeah. So another minute-long penalty here.
We're seeing a lot better ride from Darien today, more aggressive. We saw against Chaminade, kind of relaxed on the clears. But today, Darien stealing some extra possessions on that ride, and it's been crucial for them.
As that'll be Scallon passing up to Rupenstein, back down to Scallon, across to Barnett. Picorni with Tomasco, playing some good aggressive defense on him. And Stevens keeps going out there and attacking Scallon whenever he touches the ball. Maybe that's what the Rams want to capitalize on. During, maybe a film session, they saw that as Leiden makes a save on Rupenstein. And Barnett in the crease. That's going to be no goal, but the referee throws the flag. I think there might have been a push in the back.
I think he got that jump off right before the crease. Maybe I'm wrong. However, he did go airtime there. Air Jordan trying to get that dunk off the restart.
As we take another look at that one, Leiden made the save, and then the ball came loose. Barnett just came flying through, dove over top.
It looks like he got those 2 feet off right before the crease. However, I think might be a crease violation as they look to just restart here.
I think the call on the field was a crease violation. Referees kind of can't do anything about that, right? No replay. As Sullivan will come off. I think Sullivan had the push in the back, I would assume.
So now New Canaan's going to be
I think
two
it's
men down.
Yeah, 6-on-4 play here for the Blue Wave.
Darien's definitely going to have to look to capitalize on this. This is an opportunity you only get so many times in the game. We'll see what they do here.
So many times in a season, really. I mean,
yeah, they're going to go from the box in one look as they had earlier down. Now they're just simply in a box. So Darien going to have to move quickly here and just find a cutter near the goal, try and penetrate this defense.
And there'll be 2 men down for 18 seconds until that first penalty releases, and then a 30-second penalty that just got kicked in on Will Sullivan.
So then there'll be 12 seconds of just normal man down, and then back to even strength, bearing a goal. But if there is a goal, then only one of those penalties gets wiped out, the one with less time remaining. As Barnett gives it up top to McGuckin, back to Picorni, to Bilodeau, back up top with Picorni. Tomasco got a little aggressive there as Barnett looks to cycle through. Pass up top to Picorni. Inside with McGuckin, and he scores. Top shelf. Briggs McGuckin. Time, room, and the shot scores. So Blue Wave go up 2-1.
Yeah, that's something that McGuckin just does so well on this offense. He's able to use his speed, use his feet, and just find the soft spot in the zone. We saw it was a 6-on-4 there, but he's able to just find the areas and elevate for step down shots like that, which he's been capitalizing on all season.
And you see the attention that Brady Picorni drew there. New Canaan was still trying to get a little bit aggressive. Roby pressed out on him a little bit, and that left the crease wide open for a Briggs McGuckin rip.
So now there will be a face-off, which definitely favors the Rams here, right? JT O'Neal with the opportunity to get possession back for the Rams. So one penalty is wiped off, the other with 12 seconds left. Although, I think actually that would make sense that both of them get wiped off, right? That first one initially had 18 seconds left on it. So then if the second one had 12 seconds left, that means that the first one had already died out. And we're back to even strength here as we see a jump on Pearsall. And JT O'Neal will take it, get it in touch, feed it back out to Finnegan. Finnegan winds up, pulls it back out. He's already got a goal on the day. As Campese takes it, gives it to Laddick. Henry Laddick looking to dodge on Lancaster. Pulls a good move. Now Campese, defended by Olvani. Stephen Olvani trying to force him to his left hand. Campese wants to go with his right on a little bit of a sweep dodge. Fakes a toe drag. Goes up top. Now across to Laddick. Laddick, very good, nearly ambidextrous player it looks like out there. Using his left and right very comfortably. As McNamara dislodges that ball off of the double team on the low. And McNamara went for the overhead, couldn't get it. Max Lowe up top, Cole, time, room, didn't get that one off completely.
And so far this possession, we've been seeing some really strong defense from those short stick defensive midfielders on the Blue Wave. Campese nor Laddick have been able to really get a lot of separation so far this possession.
Darien was late on those rotations there, however. They got caught, overplaying guys like Lowe and Campese at X there. And, we saw that check from McNamara late on the rotation, almost led to a Doster Kroll goal.
Campese up top to Kroll, to Finnegan. Finnegan sweeps over top, gives it off. Oh, Bonner with the great stick. He was looking for Kroll. Bonner jumped in there. Kroll missed it, and that one's going to the Blue Wave. Kroll with the diving play, looked to kind of just whack it back in. As McNamara will give it to Hagan. Hagan nearly missed the pass there. As now Wes Scallon drops that one off of a great check from Kroll, and Campese makes him turn it over to the Rams ride. Playing critical in this one as Campese gets in touch. Timeout comes from Coach Chip Buzzio's squad. So with 3:07 left.
Great hustle play there from Dr. Kroll coming from the other side of the field on the ride. Wes Scallon was open until Dr. Kroll came around and was able to get a check to poke it loose. And then a great ground ball from Cole Campese to give the Rams possession.
Yeah, we've seen that ride from both teams today really, come into play here as there's been a lot of turnovers at that midfield line. Both teams just trying to clear, get a touch in the box, and both attackmen, Doster Kroll and Brady Picorni, coming up huge, stealing extra possessions for their teams.
Yeah, and that's interesting to see. Of course, you see both of those guys with highlight plays on the offensive side of the ball, but something that underratedly maybe they do a lot is they're very great at riding the ball back and, as he said, get possessions back for their team.
So as it stands, Blue Wave up 2-1. 3:07 left in the second quarter. The Rams do have possession, though, and have been seeing an increase of shots, but really it's been Carter Hagan that's been the story of the day for this Blue Wave team. He's got to have a good amount of saves so far, probably about 6 or 7, I would guess.
Yeah, 6 and 4 on the year, not Darien's best, record past years. We've seen them only lose a couple times, but Hagan, even in his losses, he's been elevating this year. His play has certainly gone up from last year, and he's had a stellar season thus far. Definitely been hard to score on Carter Hagan.
So Finnegan will get the reset, guarded by Levine. He'll give it to Max Lowe. Lowe dodges below GLE, now at X. Passes up top to Finnegan. Finnegan with his right, rolls back to his left. The flag comes for the hit in the helmet from Levine as Luke Reed looks to go to work on Elliott Lancaster. Lancaster really pressing out on Reed there, something that you don't want to do against a big guy like him. But Lancaster knows how to play the body. Reed just knows it better as he bullied through him, but his shot went wide.
And now we're going to see another man up for the Rams. It's going to be interesting to see what they're able to do here. And I wonder if Darien's going to try to lock off Dr. Kroll again, or if they will switch their strategy from last time.
Yeah, I think, really the Rams' only goal is on a man-up look. So definitely got to get something going here. Make it 2 for 2 on the day as Finnegan gives it up top to Campese. Now in that left alley with Kroll. Rogan Lowe to his brother Max. Up top with Campese. Campese to Finnegan. Finnegan to Rogan. Rogan Lowe to Finnegan. Back to Campese. Back to Finnegan. Finnegan's shot just wide. Looked like it got off the stick of Hagan a little bit. The Rams still with 34 seconds left on the penalty. As Lowe will feed it up to Kroll. Back to Campese. Back to Lowe. Now behind with Rogan Lowe. And Kroll couldn't corral that pass. Still hustles for it. Gets it back. Pushed out of bounds by Olvani. Rogan Lowe picks it up. A little bit of a 5-on-4 look here. Laddick steps in. Gives it off to Campese. Campese to Max Lowe. Back to Campese. Now Finnegan. Rams working the cycle here with 2 seconds left on the penalty. And Lancaster comes back in behind. Didn't see him. As Kroll elevates it. His shot scores. Doster Kroll gets it to go and evens up the scoring at 2.
Yeah, that's something that Kroll does, almost better than anybody in the country, just elevating from GLE, basically a question mark dodge. And, that shot on the run from Kroll, if he's able to get his hands free and use that defender as a screen, it's almost a guaranteed goal if you're New Canaan.
And you see Elliott Lancaster was released. The penalty was over, but they weren't quite even yet. And they were sort of able to make a 2-on-1 situation between Max Lowe and Doster Kroll. Doster was able to get that shot off and a goal.
As looks like a push from behind on Mariska going to the Rams. So Garcia will take it down for the Rams, guarded by Levine. Levine throwing a couple slaps, nicked him in the helmet a little as Garcia gave it up top to Finnegan. Finnegan in the alley to Rogan Lowe behind. Lowe defended by Jake Hendrickson once again. Lowe looking to go to work, maybe find his brother Max. So Rogan Lowe possesses the ball, now gives it over to his brother.
You know, they talk about having eyes in your stick, and we saw that on the Doster Kroll goal. He's fading away from the net, doesn't even get a good look at the net, but he knows that able to wrap around his defender with the shot, it's probably going to have a good angle of going in.
As Luke Reed rolls back, defended by Briggs McGuckin. McGuckin tries to play the body, but Reed, such a powerhouse, just bullied right through it as Rogan Lowe backs up the shot for the Rams. It looks like they're kind of putting an emphasis on getting it to Reed when he's got the short stick on him. Something that has worked out to their benefit before. As now Hayden Roeder with it up top, gives it off to Reed. Reed makes a move, sweeps over top, defended by McGuckin, now rolls back once again with his right, and his shot just goes wide.
Yeah, Reed's a big kid, right? So if he's got that alley dodge, look for him to bully his defender, as you said earlier.
As Max Lowe gets pushed from behind, lost his stick in the crease, and the Blue Wave will get that one. So Carter Hagan will launch that down the field with no time remaining in this first half. Your score is 2-2 after 2. The Rams get the equalizer with the Doster Kroll goal after 2 straight from the Blue Wave. And we'll be back to you for the second half on this joint broadcast between NCTV and DAF Media very shortly.
This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club Platinum and Gold sponsors. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Anderson Kenny Architecture, a full-service practice that encompasses a range of commission, residential, and commercial projects. Each project is a thoughtful collaboration tailored for clients and their needs. The outcome is highly personal, constructed with intention and integrity. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Dr. William Fessler of Fessler Family Dentistry, the dental office for your entire family's dental needs. At William Fessler Family Dentistry, smile, you're in good hands. Platinum sponsor Frangio Engineering. Planning on putting a pool or addition onto your house? Are you having drainage issues on your property? Frangio Engineering can help you find a solution. Platinum sponsors and NCHS alumni Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet have been proud supporters of local athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist you with all of your automotive needs. Platinum sponsor Manfredi Jewels. Manfredi Jewels, your local official Rolex jeweler, is excited to continue carrying the finest jewelry and watch brands and welcome the New Canaan community to their newly renovated store this fall. Go Rams. Platinum sponsor Renaissance Partners, a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company serving all of Fairfield County. Platinum sponsor Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's Market has supported NC Rams athletics and your entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We'd also like to thank our gold sponsor Performance Optimal Health, who proudly supports all New Canaan Rams athletes in their 2023-2024 seasons. Their team helps clients achieve their health goals through exercise, recovery, nutrition, and stress management. They offer their congratulations to all teams competing this season. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Go Rams.
Are you enjoying this broadcast? If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network, please help support us with a donation. DAF Media is committed to education and broadcast excellence. Your support allows us to keep bringing you high-quality community programming while giving our student volunteer broadcasters hands-on STEM experiential learning of all parts of computer networking and video production. Your donations help pay for equipment, insurance, transportation, and our award-winning advisor, and make these broadcasts possible. To donate, you can scan the Venmo QR code shown here or visit our website at dafmedia.org/donate. The link to donate is also in the description of this YouTube video. For those of you who prefer a more traditional approach, checks can be made payable to DAF Media and mailed to the address shown here. Any donation of $1,000 or more will be recognized as sponsors of our broadcasts for 1 year. Feel free to pause the broadcast to write this down. Thanks for watching and supporting DAF Media.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rams' next contest is scheduled for Thursday, May 2nd, as they take on Staples High School in another FCAC matchup. That game begins at 5:30 at Staples. The Rams' next home game is the following Thursday, May 9th, which will be senior night versus Wilton. Opening face-off is at 6:30 p.m. right here at Dunning Field. We hope to see you then.
I sent you my schedule. Okay, it's done. All right, so I'll have you, let me see what days I'm definitely covering. I definitely want you Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Monday's a maybe.
Back live from New Canaan's Dunning Stadium, where currently after halftime we've got a 2-2 tie between the Rams and the Wave, Darien and New Canaan. So, Brendan, I'm going to start with you. What have the Rams been doing well in this one?
They've been playing some strong defense as they have been all year long. Limiting a team with as powerful of an offense as Darien has to just 2 goals and a half, you cannot be upset with that performance at all. So I think they're going to definitely look to keep up that strong defense they will be switching up the goaltender, it looks like, to Jack Kroll instead of Cam Lyden. But we'll see if they'll be able to continue with this strong defense.
Yeah, and then Will, for you, this Darien team, what does that offense have to do to get it past Jack Kroll and get atop this Ram squad?
Well, we haven't really seen that two-man game at X, right? We haven't seen Barnett and Corny really connect behind the goal yet, and I think that's something that if you're a Darien fan, you want to see Picorni dodging, you want to see Barnett dodging to feed, which is what he does so well from that X position. We haven't seen him quarterback this offense yet, and I think that's something that, you know, we need to see out of Darien if they want to score some more goals.
So O'Neal wins another face-off. He takes it in, passes it off to Kroll. Kroll winds up and lays it top shelf. Doster Kroll with the goal to open up the scoring 8 seconds in to the second half. Great shot, great goal by Doster Kroll.
And that's where Dr. Kroll is so lethal. A fast break transition, gets his hands free. So 7-8 yard step down? That's an automatic goal for a guy with a shot caliber to Dr. Kroll.
Yeah, and that's just how you start the second half if you're a New Canaan fan. You love to see that. It's JT O'Neal who wins that face-off clear and able to push in transition, and Darien not able to stop him with the pull. So it's a great wing look for Kroll there on the goal.
So the Rams win the face-off with O'Neal once again, and Cooper Smith will reset the ball for them. Now Smith down the left alley. They get Hayes off the field. Give it up top to Finnegan. And the Rams go to work on the offensive end, settle down the possession here. Now with Rogan Lowe in the alley. Below GLE, passes up top to Finnegan. Colin Finnegan looking to step in on Connor Lane. Finnegan gives it across to Laddick. As the Rams really the Blue Wave looking to lock off Doster Kroll. Kroll trying to find some space, can't really do so. As Cole Campese switches hands, gives it off to Laddick. Henry Laddick makes a nice move, feeds Colin Finnegan, and Finnegan's shot blocked out in traffic, gets it again, and Colin Finnegan puts it down low and puts the Rams up by 2. So the Rams match their first half scoring within the first minute and 20 seconds in the second half and go up 4-2.
Yeah, that's kind of a broken play there. We saw, Colin Finnegan try and go low to high on that shot. It hits Jake Hendrickson, the closed defender. He's wincing a little bit in pain. We saw him try and shrug that shot off, and Finnegan just follows it up. It's a broken play right out in the middle. The ball spurts free, and Finnegan's there to just clean it up in the middle. Bit of a garbage goal, but New Canaan on the board here early, 2 in the first 2 minutes of play.
And that shows what type of player Colin Finnegan really is. The way of him making it a focus to have a long pull on him basically all game long. And he's not let that get to his head at all. He's been doing anything he can to help contribute to the team, and he's had 2 goals so far.
As Garcia looks to maybe make a move on Mariska.
Garbage goal or not, they all count the same. No
Exactly.
pictures on the scoreboard, so huge momentum boost for New Canaan.
As Laddick will give it up to Campese. Campese to Finnegan, and the Rams go back to work on the offense. Finnegan and Kroll really being the energizers in this one. As Kroll, his shot saved by Hagan, goes out of play, retained by Max Lowe. 2 goal scorers, both with 2 in this one, Finnegan and Kroll, as the Rams are up 4-2. 9:41, 9:40 left in this third quarter. Doster Kroll taking a screen from Laddick, trying to play some games with Bonner here, as Finnegan gets it, pulls it out, defended by Levine. It's Campese now at X, defended by Olvani. Campese up top with Rogan Lowe. Hendrickson sticks with him through the screen from Campese. Miscommunication there on the Blue Wave side. It's Campese, defended by Olvani, takes him down the alley. looking to kind of bully dodge him. As Campisi gets inside, and his shot goes just wide. His stick launched in the air, but the Blue Wave will get the possession.
And if you're Darien right now, you know, you're in a bit of a hole here. 2-goal deficit in a low-scoring game like this. You got to start pushing in transition because that's where they get most of their work done. It's the transition game. We can see Briggs McGuckin's trying to start that here early.
The Rams with a 10-man ride trying to limit the Blue Wave's transition opportunities. Obviously, the Blue Wave, one of the best transition offenses in the nation, as now they go settle down on offense. Ben Bilodeau in the alley, defended by Garcia. Behind with Picorni. Stevens on him. As Dylan Stevens sticks with him through the screen from Bilodeau. Pass in front, and Kroll stuffs Barnett on the doorstep. Bilodeau fights for the ball. He goes out of bounds, but we've got a penalty on the play.
Yeah, that was a quick stick by Barnett right off the BTB feed from Picorni. Picorni dodging to feed. And that's a quick stick.
Pass.
Yeah, that was.
Picorni there. Not able to finish.
If Barnett was able to finish that one.
Yeah, we saw in that Chaminade game, you know, if you guys were able to watch it, Barnett had a couple of opportunities on the crease and just wasn't able to finish. Kind of a similar theme here today with Darien.
So I think Tomasco will be off to the box for that one. I think it hit from behind on Barnett when Kroll shut him out. As now the Blue Wave man up goes back to work. Just a lot of ball movement here, trying to swing the ball around. Not really getting any cutters or anything. Now Picorni on the C-cut. Stevens stops him there as McGuckin passes off to Barnett behind with Picorni. Picorni trying to make a move. The penalty releases, and Ireland comes in. Now the Rams settle it down on the defensive end once again.
Yeah, great man down defense from the Rams there. Darien was really not able to get anything going.
Now Jackson Roeder defending Porter Barnett. Barnett pulls it out. Gives it to McGuckin. McGuckin trying to dodge on Ireland. Ireland to McGuckin to Bilodeau as Bilodeau puts it on the ground, and bouncers will go here. Bilodeau gets it past Jack Kroll and opens up the scoring for the Blue Wave. Big offensive explosion here in this third quarter.
Yeah, Ben Bilodeau, just a sophomore, but he loves that underneath dodge. He's going to use that leverage. He's going to take that ball, just one hand on his stick. It's something he does all too often, but it really works out well for him as he's able to fake top side, go underneath, sweep across the front of the net, and bouncers will go today. And just a good response from the Wave here early.
So O'Neal and Mariska back at the face-off dot. Blue Wave still haven't double pulled the wings, as you know we might have anticipated. Cooper Smith will take it in, and the Rams go to work once again on the offensive end. Rogan Lowe defended by Hendrickson. Hendrickson throwing a couple slaps at him.
Yeah, definitely surprising, PJ. We thought they were going to double pull or at least pull that face-off X, but JT O'Neal having no trouble here today getting those face-offs and possessions for New Canaan.
As Finnegan gets it up top, defended by Connor Lane. Finnegan trying to make a move, takes a screen from Reed, gives it across to Laddick. Now Dosser Kroll with a screen coming from Laddick. Tries to truck Olvany there. High pass to Finnegan. Finnegan couldn't corral it, but gets it right back.
And we've seen Olvany do that a lot today, coming off of a screen, kind of laying a big hit on whoever has the ball.
Yeah, Dosser Kroll as well. He loves to initiate contact in his dodge. He likes to, you know, offset and then re-dodge. It's something he does very well. So that's been a very crucial point for Darien today, just stopping him early.
Colin Finnegan to Rogan Lowe. Lowe trying to dodge at X. Rolls back, goes to his right, rolls back to his left. Now Laddick trying to make a move on Olvany from X. The invert look for the Rams. Laddick pulls it out. Now re-dodges from the wing, and his shot scores! Henry Laddick with the goal, and the Rams go back up by 2, 5-3 is your score. Henry Laddick with the bouncer.
Wow, and what a finish that was. Looked similar to that Ben Bilodeau goal that we just saw. He's able to re-dodge, get underneath, and then with not much of an angle, open up and be able to finish on Hagan.
Laddick went airborne there and got it past Carter Hagan. So Henry Laddick gets his first on the day. The Rams go up 5-3. JT O'Neill wins that one out in front. Pulls it past Rupenstein and wins it, gets it in touch.
That's a great underneath dodge there. Like you said, Bilodeau just had one, and, you know, Laddick able to follow up with one of his own as he elevates at GLE there with a tight angle and just squeezes it in on the far post.
Campese to Reed. Luke Reed up top, defended by McGuckin. The Rams might go a little invert here, take him to X. As Reed goes down in that left alley.
Absolutely, and Rams have been trying to utilize the Luke Reed dodge, and we'll see another one here, see what he can do.
As Reed trying to play some bully ball there, gives it off to Campese. Campese with Rupenstein on him. Now Max Lowe dodges. Great stick there by McNamara.
Yeah.
The shot goes out of play and goes to the blue wave.
Yeah, McNamara overplayed Max Lowe there at X. It looks like Max Lowe had a step on him, but the length of Mark McNamara able to make up for a lot of his mistakes as he gets a crucial check there right before the shot.
Now Rupenstein will take this one up the field. Rams kind of blocking off the middle of the field, the attackman there, allowing them to advance the ball up past the restrainer, but not much more. As Rupenstein drops the pass in the midfield, and Campese will give it across to Hayes. Will Hayes taking it in. Hayes' shot scores! Will Hayes gets it to go, and the Rams go up 6-3. That's that shot that we've been waiting for all game long. Will Hayes with the cannon gets it past Hagan.
Yeah, Will Hayes, as we mentioned, he's an LSM, but he's also an offensive threat. He loves to push in transition. I believe he's headed off to Denver. And, I mean, I saw him in the FCAC playoffs last year rip a shot from what looked like 30 yards out. That kid has a cannon, and he shows it right there.
Absolutely. He's got one of the fastest shots on the team, and he really showed it there. If he's not stopped in transition, he will not hesitate to rip a shot from 10, 15 yards out, like he did there.
So Hayes gets the goal. The Rams up by 3. Blue Wave only have 3. As Coach Jeff Braymeyer calls a timeout, tries to settle his guys down.
Yeah, if you're Darien right now, you just got to weather the storm, as New Canaan has just come out here with, you know, a different intensity this half. They've really been quick to pull the trigger multiple times on offense instead of, you know, waiting and trying to, you know, invert and get the best look. They've, you know, been putting shots on net and good shots at that. It's been putting a lot of goals on the board for New Canaan.
That's absolutely right, and I think you also have to feel really good about this little run that New Canaan's on if you're a Rams fan, because of how strong JT O'Neill has been at the faceoff X so far. You expect to keep on maintaining possession after these goals and maybe being able to pile onto this lead even more.
So 4:01 remains in this third quarter. Rams with an offensive explosion here. They started off with 2 goals on the board. Now, through 8 minutes, they've got 6. As their offense has really just been clicking here. It was really, you know, what was biting them in that first half was those silly mistakes, right? Drop passes, and now, you know, they've kind of fixed that, tuned up their stick skills, and gotten back to work.
Mark McNamara coming out here. They are going to pull the face-off. We've been waiting for it all day long. Mark McNamara is going to the face-off X. So Darien finally going to pull JT O'Neill. Let's see if they can create a scrum for the ball and maybe, you know, swoop in from the wings, clear it up.
Yeah, right. That's not, you know, your intention when you pull, you know, the face-off dot. It isn't to win it outright. It's to create a scrum and a loose ground ball, as O'Neill just wins that one flat out there. McNamara trying to throw a check or two on him. O'Neal lost the ball, picked it back up on the end line, and that one goes to the Blue Wave. So McNamara with the ball. Another ball in play with Lancaster. He just sent that one out of bounds. As McNamara will take it in while defending his elbow pad. Now McNamara's shot eaten up by Jack Kroll. Kroll playing a difference maker here.
Yeah, we talked about Will Hayes and his love of transition lacrosse, and Mark McNamara as well likes to
As
take
Hayes sends the overhead there. Ball loose on the ground, picked up by Cooper Smith. 4 or 5 sticks hitting him. Ball is still loose. I don't think he has it. Bonner picks it up.
toe drag from
Makes
Bonner.
Garcia miss.
What a toe drag from the LSM.
Lancaster walks in. Great stick by Stevens to break up the pass to Picorni.
Yeah, Picorni is open on the crease there. Stevens.
Oh, and
pick it
now
off.
Thurlow with the great stick. Picorni walks in, gives it off to Lancaster. Hayes and Cooper Smith send a slap at him.
What a
a
sequence
sequence.
of
Yeah.
events we just had right there.
I was about to say.
That is New Canaan versus Darien Lacrosse. That's what you love to see if you're a fan watching this game.
We saw a ride, and then in between a ride to a clear, and then another turnover, and then another takeaway. Darien finally settles it down, but just as you said, put a button on it. That's New Canaan and Darien Lacrosse at its finest.
So we'll see. Picorni try to make a move at X here. Gets a slide. Sorry, that wasn't Picorni. That was Rupenstein. As up top to McGuckin, back down to Rupenstein. Now behind with Picorni, defended by Will Hayes. Hayes throwing a couple of good checks in there. Fakes the pass, goes BTB to Ryan Thurlow. Thurlow will pull that one out. As Rupenstein looks to dodge, and his shot looked like it got blocked by McGuckin out in traffic. Great Tomasco picks it up, gives it to Bryce Lyden. Or sorry, that's still in Stevens. Stevens eats a hit from McGuckin. Ball is loose. Jack Kroll comes out to pick it up, and
that's a goal there.
That's a goal from Ryan Thurlow.
The sophomore from Darien, as he checks into the game this second half. We didn't see him all of the first half, but he's making his presence known early. That's just a great ride from Darien, very aggressive ride. They had all three attackmen on that ball, and Ryan Thurlow is the beneficiary of that one as he scoops it up and just, lobs it into the back of the net.
Yeah, and we see the replay there. Jack Kroll loves to get out of the net to try to attack to try to get some ground balls, and a lot of the time it works. That time it doesn't. Ryan Thurlow able to pick up the GB and put it in the back of the net.
See if Mark McNamara can try and support the face-off X here is JT O'Neal.
O'Neal won it once again. McNamara with a good stick, breaking up the GB.
And McNamara is doing exactly what Darien wants him to at the face-off X, forcing ground balls. And
I think we've got a timeout from Coach Buzzio. Well timed there.
A lot of heavy checks from McNamara, as you said, Brendan. Just trying to support the scrum, and Chip Buzzio getting that timeout off. Huge for New Canaan as they'll, retain possession here.
So we'll take another look at that one. As O'Neal on the ground after that big hit from both McNamara and Alvani.
Yeah, great timeout from Chip Buzzio right there. JT was in a bit of trouble, but able to get out of it unscathed.
Yeah, and that's just a testament to JT O'Neal as a Fogo. He draws the double right off the win, and Darien really can't do anything but just get on his hands and try and win that ball back, as he's really been that X factor here today for New Canaan.
So 6-4 is your score with 1:23 left in this third quarter of action. Blue Wave down to the home Rams, and New Canaan really coming to play here, especially in this third quarter on the offensive end. Blue Wave, they've capitalized on a couple of mistakes by the Rams, right, including that one with Kroll going out of the cage, really playing some scrappy lacrosse here. As the Blue Wave with 3 attackmen waiting for Laddick to kind of just run through. Now they bring a fourth with Lancaster. Tomasco goes out to aid him. So does Stevens. As Laddick will just look back to Lyden. Bryce Lyden finds great Tomasco. Tomasco walking in, gets it in touch. Feeds it out to Finnegan. It's Colin Finnegan. Looks to reset it, defended by Connor Lane, pressing out a lot on him. And Finnegan, a fast guy, could blow by him in a second. As Laddick looks to make a move on Elliott Lancaster. Lancaster pressing out.
Darien not giving a lot of cushion on these dodges. As you mentioned, PJ, they're pressing out on basically every look. And Connor Lane been stuck on the midfielder Finnegan all day long, but so far done a pretty good job with his assignment.
Finnegan, the Rhodes College commit, gives it off to Campese. Campese defended by Olvani. As he takes it down the right alley, gives it behind to Max Lowe. Lowe up top to Doster Kroll. Kroll makes a move, pulls it out. Defended by Bonner once again. Now right on the doorstep, Rogan Lowe had a look. Hendrickson did a great job playing him there. And a little bit of a high pass to Finnegan. Colin Finnegan gets it back, picks it up, and looks at Doster Kroll. Now on the doorstep, Max Lowe. Great save by Carter Hagan. The flag flies, and New Canaan will get a man-up look.
It looked like could have been a crease violation as Hagan just stunned him on the doorstep, jumps up for the save, but gets a little contact there on the back of the leg.
That will do it for the third quarter. Also, among all that scrum, we didn't even realize that the buzzer blew. And that is your third quarter. So going into the fourth, Rams up by 2. You know, this New Canaan team, they haven't really proven to be a second half team, as a 30-second penalty comes against Darien.
Wow, and what an entertaining third quarter that was. 2-2 at the end of the first half. Thad Burley came into our booth during halftime and said, it's been a good game, but not too entertaining, not too many highlight scoring plays, and I think that it had third quarter just about made up for it. Great goals on both sides of the ball, and can't wait to see what this fourth quarter holds for us.
Yeah, if you weren't entertained by the half, you're certainly entertained now, as both teams are, you know, basically flying on all cylinders here, especially New Canaan, the way they came out from that halftime intermission. They just immediately won the face-offs with JT O'Neill and pushed it to their best player, Doster Kroll, who really contributed to the scoring there.
So the Rams will be up by 2 going into this one. And they will also start with the ball in this fourth quarter, right? No face-off because the penalty came right at the end of it. So the Rams will start it up top. Not 100% sure who will start with it here. I think it's going to be Doster Kroll for them. So Doster Kroll on the restart to kick off this fourth quarter. You know, and this is what it all comes down to, right? Blue Wave definitely have the potential to come back, but what they've got to do mainly is hold off this Rams team, this Rams offense, as up top to Kroll. Bonner got aggressive there, and Max Lowe right out in front, sails that one wide. Finnegan there on the backup.
Yeah, really good skip pass, great heads-up play. You know, moving with the ball there was Kroll at the top of the box, and that skip pass, almost a goal from Max Lowe.
So now Lowe to Laddick, back to Lowe. Hockey teammates in the winter to Campese, then to Kroll. Kroll up top to Finnegan, and the penalty is released. Campese steps in, feeds it off to Lowe, and both teams are even.
Let me see. I believe that's Lancaster on Rogan Lowe, short stick.
As Finnegan gets tripped up by Olvani, had a look, decided to pass it off to Max Lowe, as that matchup that you were talking about, Brendan, Lancaster on Lowe. Rogan Lowe will pass it off. Finnegan gets the ground ball off of the missed catch, as Lowe goes back to work against Lancaster. Rogan Lowe tried to wrap around his brother Max, though, back there to retain possession for him. As Finnegan comes off the field for Luke Reed. Max Lowe, defended by Connor Lane. Gets a screen from Campese. Max Lowe elevates, and his shot goes wide. Rogan Lowe that time there to back it up.
We've seen a lot of these New Canaan attackmen try and elevate from GLE, try and get that shot off, and just not a great angle there, but New Canaan doing really good on that chase, and they're backing up almost all of those shots this start of the fourth quarter.
Now Reed trying to bully through Lancaster, gives it up to Laddick. Laddick back to Reed. And the shot eaten up by Hagan, tripped up in the midfield. Lancaster still has the ball. Campese trying to run through him. That's got to be, they're going to have to check his stick there.
Wow, some physical lacrosse here.
Flag flew there. Lancaster taking it in. So, delayed penalty for the Blue Wave as they'll give it off to Thurlow.
I mean, if that's pocket, if his pocket is deep,
I don't know how he holds on to that one. That was
a ride of about 4 Rams right there.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it looks like there may have been a wrap check called for the slash, but Lancaster just able to somehow get that over the midfield line. Tremendous.
That was ridiculous.
Effort.
I mean, I don't know how he held on to that ball. There's like 4 or 5 Rams defenders on him.
How that ball didn't come loose, we do not know.
Now
but
Thurlow dodges from X. Back to Rupenstein, defended by Garcia. Rupenstein looking for a pass. Looks to redodge now as no one slid onto him, and his shot scores. Morgan Rupenstein, the Bates commit, gets the goal and brings the Blue Wave back within 1.
Seemed like a bit of a miscommunication on that New Canaan defense. It was Henry Laddick stuck on the defensive end of the ball, and then the 2 short sticks couldn't quite communicate on who had who. Left him for a wide open rip. Great goal for Darien, making it a 1-goal ball game.
Yeah, the rotations there just a little bit too late for New Canaan. And Morgan Rupenstein, we haven't talked about him a lot today, but he's a midfielder for Darien, another 2-way guy who, if he gets his hands free, he's going to rip the shot. And he's scored a lot just from the step-down looks he's had this year. And that's another one from Rupenstein on the season.
So Rupenstein with his first on the day as O'Neal wins the face-off. Ball is loose in the air after the penalty got waved off because of the Rupenstein goal. O'Neal gives it up to Hayes. Will Hayes through the middle of the field. His shot, trail check by McNamara. And the flag flies there. Hayes looks shaken up.
Mark McNamara trying to get the trail check off, but catches the body of Hayes on the windup. And hopefully Will Hayes is okay. He's gathered around by his teammates after that one.
Hayes gets up and walks off the field under his own power. Good sign for him and the Rams. Is McNamara. That was a big hit from him. And now the Rams will go to work on the man up. And it will be a 1-minute penalty on the Blue Wave. So the Rams with a minute-long man-up look here to try to get another and increase their lead to 2 with 8:40 left in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, and this man-up, PJ, this could be the dagger. There's only 8:40 left, and the way this game has gone, goals come at a premium. So if New Canaan can cash in here, a good look for the rest of the game.
Now Laddick to Rogan Lowe, up top with Colin Finnegan. Finnegan steps in, feeds it off to Campese. Campese on the windup. That one got blocked out in traffic, trickled by. And Rogan Lowe on the restart gives it off to his brother Max. Max Lowe up top to Campese. Campese to Kroll. Finnegan steps in, and his shot saved up high by Carter Hagan.
Yeah, Carter Hagan just tracking that stick of Finnegan. You saw he was going low to high, and he just followed the head of the stick.
Now Lancaster tries to get a swim move over Max Lowe. Kroll lost his stick. Finnegan with a great wrap check there, one-handed. picks it up. Now in the middle of the field, Hayes back on the field, dodging through 2 Blue Wave defenders. Lost the ball there. Ball still loose. I think that's Olvani with it. Sorry, no, that's not. That's McBride. Max McBride came in and picked that one up.
Darien going to have to slow this down. Hopefully, you know, you expect them to go to that 300 open set. We'll see what they do here, but definitely going to have to just settle this ball down and try and get a good look. They need to tie this up.
Max McBride, an offensive weapon.
McBride lost the ball. Defended by Campese. Great check by Cole Campese as Dylan Stevens picks it up. Gives it to Doster Kroll. Kroll settles it down in the offense. Wrap around. Tried to do one of those backhanded shovel shots. As you know, he's got a good one of those. He scored one against Prep last year. Missed wide though. Max Lowe will give it up top to Henry Laddick, and the Rams reset it on the offensive end. Now Laddick takes it behind to X, defended by Briggs McGuckin. Laddick settling it down, letting the Rams get a couple of substitutions on as Laddick will look behind to Max Lowe. Lowe up top to Laddick. Laddick sweeps over top, defended by Connor Lane, and Laddick's shot just high off the bounce, and Max Lowe will be there for the chase. So Max Lowe steps into play, and the Rams get it going here. Max Lowe defended by Jake Hendrickson, and a great pickoff there by Rowan Levine. Levine walking in now, feeds it off to Thurlow, and the Rams reset it on offense. The Blue Wave.
Great play by Levine there, able to pick off the pass and then not push anything unnecessary on the offensive side of the ball. He saw that there wasn't a real opportunity for a fast break, and he was able to settle it down. Now the Wave have a chance to put a goal in and tie this ball game up.
Now Picorni sweeps over top, feeds inside, looked to McGuckin, but that one went straight to the stick of Jack Kroll. Now Kroll looks to walk it up, lobs it over top, and finds Dylan Stevens. Stevens gets it in touch. Had Ireland in the middle, decided not to pass it off to him. As Will Sullivan now will settle it down for the Rams. Sullivan to Finnegan. Colin Finnegan walking in. And will take the short stick of Briggs McGuckin down to X.
Yeah, since it's one of the first time that Finnegan's had a short stick on him all game, I wonder if he'll look to dodge him here.
Yeah, this game's just coming down to a matter of possessions. Just with over 4 minutes left, it's really whatever team gets the ball in their sticks has, control over this one, as New Canaan still with that 1-goal lead.
Laddick defended by Levine, gives it up top to Campese. Campese dodges down the right alley with his right hand, and his shot goes wide. But the Rams will be back there to back it up. Looks like Finnegan takes it in on the restart, defended by McGuckin once again. Now up top with Henry Laddick. Laddick slipped up. Gave it off to Campese, though. Smart thinking, quick thinking by him. As Campese's shot bounces high over the cage. Max Lowe there on the chase as he picks it up and takes it in with 4:16 left. Rams up by 1. As Colin Finnegan looks across to Cole Campese, and Campese stings it. Top corner, putting the Rams up 2.
Wow.
Cole Campese.
Unbelievable shot there from Campese, and you have to give credit to Colin Finnegan there. Able to draw a lot of attention. He had the short stick matchup that he wanted, able to sort of get by him, draw the attention that he needed, and let Cole Campese get his hands free and an absolute rip. You can see it again here in the replay. Skip pass, low to high, top right. Carter Hagan, if he blinked, he might not have even saw that one. Great shot from Cole Campese.
Campese stuck it in that top right corner, opposite from Hagan's stick side, and put the Rams up 2. That's the perfect shot. That's the shot you look for, as that one went straight in to the Blue Wave defenseman, William Bonner. McNamara picks it up, defended by Hayes. Hayes maybe looking for a little bit of revenge. Hayes tried the overhead, couldn't get it. And Thurlow will restart it Bryce Lyden pressing out. Blue Wave still haven't gotten in touch, and that's going to be a failure to advance. Or is it? I think Coach Jeff Braymeyer tried to call a timeout, but the referee, far side, called a failure to advance. They're going to give the timeout to Braymeyer. So Darien still hasn't gotten in touch. So they're going to have to do so very quickly, or else the Rams can force a turnover.
I think at this point in the game, you look to Brady Picorni, you look for him to isolate, hopefully get a dodge and just free up space for him, whether it's at the wing or at X, because at this point in the game, you just need a dodge that, allows a guy like Picorni to get his hands free and, get Darien back into this game with just a 2-goal deficit, over 3 minutes to play. You got to go to your, skill guys and get them in space, and I think it's going to it's probably going to come down to Picorni on Stevens here, the matchup that we've anticipated all day long.
Absolutely. And as they say, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. Not many moments bigger than this, and not many players bigger than Brady Picorni. So I would not be surprised if they go to him to look for a goal here.
Yeah, and for those of you at home, right, Rams up by 2. But, just remembering back to 2 years ago, the last time that the Rams beat the Wave, it was a 3-goal comeback. The Wave were down 4, but they had 3 goals in that last minute and a half or so to kind of crawl back and make it a close game. So definitely, not out of the realm of possibility as Bilodeau takes it, gets it in touch very quickly.
Picorni also drawing a ton of attention this game. We could see him dodge to feed, as he's been doing all the game long, so look for them to crowd.
Now
crease.
Picorni sent the shot. That one went behind the cage, but Barnett there to back it up. Tomasco looks to defend on Barnett. Up top with Rupenstein, defended by Cooper Smith. Morgan Rupenstein dodges, sweeps up top. Now his top side now to Brady Picorni. Dylan Stevens trying to prevent him from getting topside. He does so, rolls back, and with the righty rip, that one bounces just high and past.
Great defense there from Stevens, able to stick with him. He had a nice rollback, but not able to get that one on cage.
McGuckin looks to make a move on Hayes. Switches off, and McGuckin's shot just high over the cage. Once again, Blue Wave to back it up there.
Yeah, and Darien's getting some good looks so far this possession. These are the type of shots that you want, but they're not able to get them quite on target.
So Rupenstein gets topside on Cooper Smith. Feeds Briggs McGuckin, but great stick save by Jack Kroll. Kroll to Stevens, back to Kroll. And Jack Kroll looks to walk it up. The freshman stepping up in a big moment here for the Rams against their rival Blue Wave. Bryce Lyden will get it in touch. He's got a lane. Takes the ball to X. And Blue Wave looking to lock off the Rams attackman. Lyden makes a move. He dodges from X, and Bryce Lyden with the backhand shot. We've got a timeout from Coach Chip Buzzio. That would have been something if Lyden scored. But Coach Buzzio calls the timeout, gets his guys to settle down. It seems like every time Lyden touches the ball, he calls the timeout. But, Rams, it's a smart move there to settle it down, get their offense, kind of settled, and
now there's
hold the ball.
Just 2 minutes left in this game. Rams up 2. This is something that Coach Chip Buzzio harps on all year long. Late game scenarios where you have to hold a lead. Against Fairfield Prep, they were not able to do that very well. And then here we'll be able to see if New Canaan's able to do that and maintain this lead and take home the W.
Yeah, New Canaan just has to keep it in the box, right? They just got to, get it to guys like Max Lowe and Rogan Lowe, honestly, who have the speed to run it around and run this clock out. They're able to keep it in the box here for the next 2 minutes. They're going to be coming home with this win, and, the gravity of this game in this situation, this point in the season, this would be a huge rebound game for New Canaan after that game against Fairfield Prep.
So the Blue Wave defense takes the field, and the Rams, you guys talked about it, in about 18 seconds, I believe, they're going to have to keep it in touch and stay in touch. So a lot of that is going to come. Coach Buzzio likes to put those guys behind at X to, keep that ball in touch. so that even if the Blue Wave do force a turnover, they still have to go the whole length of the field to, get it down, settle it down, instead of working it up top. Because, that box, it provides as another defender for the Blue Wave, helping them out. As Max Lowe will restart in the right alley, take it behind at X.
Interesting to see Will Hayes on the field here now after a timeout, having the LSM on the field.
And I think it's really to provide some defensive aid in case they get in that situation. As a great play there by Olvani to try and force Max Lowe out. But Max Lowe gets his revenge, and his brother Rogan takes it in. And that one stays with the Rams. Great chase by Lowe. That was a sequence. Lowe nearly stepped out, tried to flip it to Henry Laddick. And Laddick couldn't corral the pass. Blue Wave got it. Hagan looked to clear, and Max Lowe snuck up from behind him.
Yeah, and you've got to give credit to Jake Hendrickson there. Rogan had a shot on net, but able to get checked. Couldn't get it on target.
And Kroll elevates, rips the shot. That one wide. Max Lowe there to back it up. Doster Kroll
Absolute chaos.
jawing a little bit at Hendrickson with 1:42 left in this one. Kroll will pick it up. Will catch the pass, and his shot blocked by Bonner. Max Lowe on the chase will get it.
Wow.
And looks like he's calling for someone else to pick it up. Henry Laddick will pick it up.
And it feels like here the Rams are just a few feet away from kind of hitting the dagger and putting this game away.
Now
They've had
Laddick.
multiple shots, not quite on target.
Laddick double teamed along the end line. The overhead comes by McNamara, and that one's going to the Blue Wave. So now Darien looks to clear with Bonner. Laddick in pursuit of him.
No
The
time
pass over to Lancaster. Lancaster's got to take it down.
No time to set up an offense. It's just time to push and transition, and Lancaster's the guy to hopefully do so.
And Jack Kroll picks off a cross-crease pass. Look for Briggs McGuckin. Now Kroll, with a minute left on the clock, conducts the clear. The Blue Wave have got to come after him eventually. He gives it up to Stevens. Dylan Stevens working it through the field. And you've got to remember, as Stevens throws a bounce pass to Leiden, Bryce Leiden to Doster Kroll behind at X. And you've got to remember, even if the Blue Wave do score, they've got a problem at the face-off dot. As Doster Kroll will carry this ball out. 37 seconds. Double team comes along the end line. Kroll loses the ball, goes to the Blue Wave. Rupenstein will pick it up. Fans all leaving as McGuckin now takes it. Max Lowe in pursuit of him.
Yeah, that's a calculated turnover there from Doster Kroll. New Canaan's completely fine with that.
As McGuckin shot saved by Kroll once again, and that's got to do it. He'll give it up to Garcia. Garcia taking it down the alley with 8 seconds left. And for the second time in 3 years, the Rams top the Wave and get the best of their rival.
And the final score is New Canaan.
The Rams beat the Blue Wave 7-5 in what seems to be a new era of New Canaan lacrosse, playing some great games down this big stretch. And the Rams get the best of their rival Blue Wave.
Coordinating the clock and scoreboard. And on behalf of New Canaan High School, this is Terry Diamond. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great West
So Will, I'm gonna swing it to you first here. What went wrong with the Blue Wave in that second half?
Yeah, I think it just comes down to, not setting up in an offense and the failure to push and transition. We saw guys like Will Hayes and Bryce Leiden make key plays in that transition game, turning the ball, getting takeaways for the Rams, and that's really what it came down to. Darien just didn't have enough of a depth in their game plan to kind of account for these New Canaan New Canaan defenders. Like Will Hayes, we saw him get a goal of his own, and that's what it came down to for Darien. They relied too heavily on that transition game and weren't able to establish a presence in the settled possessions they had, and New Canaan took advantage of that. When they got on offense, they were able to get settled and they were able to score.
Yeah, and Brendan, talk to me about that Rams transition game. I mean, they played a great game, limiting transitions from Darien and creating some of their own.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And at the end there, the Rams were really firing on all cylinders. And I think you've got to give some credit to Jack Kroll there. Really at the end, when it turned into desperation mode for the Blue Wave, Jack Kroll was standing on his head, a bit of a brick wall in net. He's just a freshman, but he's able to step up in some of the biggest moments of the season so far. He played a great game. And yeah, overall, great performance for the Rams. Definitely a great bounce back from Fairfield Prep, and definitely something that they'll be looking back on and while they go forward and through the rest of their season.
So we're going to take a look at a quick highlight reel from that game. As, you know, that was just a great all-around game from both sides. Really, you know, an offensive explosion in the second half. As you take a look at this was the man-up play. Roeder and Sullivan got aggressive there. And the Rams did a great job killing off that penalty. Great save by Kroll on that one. Or sorry, Leiden. That was Leiden during the first half. Now this one, you see the shot from Briggs McGuckin right in the middle. That was the equalizer for the Blue Wave. As now Campese, you see here, gives it off, and Doster Kroll, that one tied it up at 2 for both of those teams. And then that was the great behind-the-back pass from Picorni, but then Barnett got, you know, stuffed on the crease. And then, you know, that's the one when Barnett went diving across the crease and looked to have a goal, but then they called him in the crease. It was a real all-around game from both sides. As we see the move there from Rupenstein, and then the shot and stick side save by Jack Kroll. That was a great one. That was kind of the dagger there when the Blue Wave couldn't get that. So that's going to be all from us from this joint broadcast between DAF and NCTV from Dunning Stadium. We'd like to thank our crew first. You've got Andrew Mank, our producer, John Frieders, our associate producer. Got Thad Burley on camera. Anav, he helped us set up. Then you've got Jason Generalis and Teddy Bliss, our 2 TV1 guys, helping out in all spots. You've got Dalton Peck on graphics, and then Harrison, and then myself, PJ Neville, Will Jennings, Brendan Bailey, signing off.
This game is sponsored by our NC Rams All Sports Booster Club Platinum and Gold sponsors. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Anderson Kenny Architecture, a full-service practice that encompasses a range of commission, residential, and commercial projects. Each project is a thoughtful collaboration tailored for clients and their needs. The outcome is highly personal, constructed with intention and integrity. We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, Dr. William Fessler of Fessler Family Dentistry, the dental office for your entire family's dental needs. At William Fessler Family Dentistry, smile, you're in good hands. Platinum sponsor Frangio Engineering. Planning on putting a pool or addition onto your house? Are you having drainage issues on your property? Frangio Engineering can help you find a solution. Platinum sponsors and NCHS alumni Leo and Steve Carl of Carl Chevrolet have been proud supporters of local athletic programs for generations. Their dealership has been serving Fairfield County since 1927. Their team is ready to assist you with all of your automotive needs. Platinum sponsor Manfredi Jewels. Manfredi Jewels, your local official Rolex jeweler, is excited to continue carrying the finest jewelry and watch brands, and welcome the New Canaan community to their newly renovated store this fall. Go Rams. Platinum sponsor Renaissance Partners, a family-owned and New Canaan-based residential building and remodeling company, serving all of Fairfield County. Platinum sponsor Walter Stewart's. Walter Stewart's market has supported NC Rams athletics and your entire New Canaan community for years. Walter Stewart's is your fresh local market. We'd also like to thank our gold sponsor, Performance Optimal Health, who proudly supports all New Canaan Rams athletes in their 2023-2024 seasons. Their team helps clients achieve their health goals through exercise, recovery, nutrition, and stress management. They offer their congratulations to all teams competing this season. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors. The NC Rams All Sports Booster Club supports all New Canaan High School athletics. Go Rams!
Are you enjoying this broadcast? If you like what you see on the DAF Media Network, please help support us with a donation. DAF Media is committed to education and broadcast excellence. Your support allows us to keep bringing you high-quality community programming while giving our student volunteer broadcasters hands-on STEM experiential learning of all parts of computer networking and video production. Your donations help pay for equipment, insurance, transportation, and our award-winning advisor, and make these broadcasts possible. To donate, you can scan the Venmo QR code shown here or visit our website at dafmedia.org/donate. The link to donate is also in the description of this YouTube video. For those of you who prefer a more traditional approach, checks can be made payable to DAF Media and mailed to the address shown here. Any donation of $1,000 or more will be recognized as sponsors of our broadcasts for 1 year. Feel free to pause the broadcast to write this down. Thanks for watching and supporting DAF Media.
If you want to stay updated on all our Rams sports, please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at NCTV78. And in order to watch our bi-weekly broadcasts, live streams of the NCHS sports, and our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, also at NCTV78. Thank you, and let's go Rams!